One of the interesting things that has come out of many of the conversations that I've been having is sometimes when we say father, once again, there's a different definition of what father means. Father, I just said this to someone, it's a full contact sport now, right? Like you got to be very involved in your child's emotional development, their physical development, their financial security in a way that that wasn't the case 40 years ago. As a child of the 70s myself, there was a lot of, at 18, you're supposed to be much more independent than it is expected for children to be now. And so sometimes some of the disappointment that we talk about, that I see in social media and whatnot in parents, is that you're talking to someone who's a boomer, who's from a previous generation, with the language of today. And to them, it's like, why are they asking all this of me? I made sure they had health and home and security. I did the job that I saw as father. And now it's evolved. And how do I help men very often recognize this evolution has a value to you, and that if you can find ways to reconnect with it, to get what you need out of it, you're going to see the benefits if you can be flexible and adjust. Doesn't always work out that way, but I do think it's valuable. Like, look, what do we mean when we say the word father? What do you think this means? What does your child think it means? And how do we kind of bring those two together in a way that works for both parties? Because once again, I see a lot of young people, a lot of younger people, children, looking at their parents and saying, well, they're not being a father to me. And what they really mean is they're not being a father to me in the way I understand that term today, and that term was different just 10 years ago. And if you can't get realigned on how those terms worked, then there's always going to be conflict. There's always going to be broken expectations and disappointments. And until you can get aligned on what we mean by those simple phrases, those simple words, we think it's simple, we think it works, but no, until you actually sit down and sort of converse about it, you're going to get disappointed. So how could we get everybody on the same page as quickly as possible?